All right, so what I'm going to do now is kind of look at this from the side view a little bit more. And incidentally, I'm going to be using the perspective and side a lot, so I probably have one on the top and one on the bottom. That's just, it's very easy to highlight these faces like this. And start going in here and manipulating them a little bit more. So what I want to do is add another extrude in here. And this is, I can use the extrude down arrow. And I'm going to add one more even, giving me a nice square to work with at the end. So this square, I can start now moving this around and getting a different shape for that form that I'm about to make. So let's say I take all these vertices and start moving these around, and I want to develop some kind of fingertip for this robot. And I want the fingertip to look a little bit different than the previous two. This does need to be thinner, however. So I could scale that this way, scale it this way. And this is where you kind of work out a silhouette of what you want. So what does this look like as just a solid chunk of blackness? That's what I'm thinking as I'm making this model, is what the silhouette looks like. Okay, and another way to do this is if you hit 3 on the keyboard, you can really start sculpting with the deformer already on. So now I can make a little bit more accurate results that I know for the next level of smooth what it's going to look like. I don't like how the back side of this is rounded. So what I want to do here is flatten that out. Now to do so, I have to kind of think back a little bit. Let's say, for instance, this edge right here really serves no purpose other than in my way. So if I hold shift and I click on it, it'll highlight the entire thing, and I can go in here and edit mesh, delete edge vertice. Never hit delete on the keyboard. So now that got that out of the way, I can go in here with 3 and decide, well, you know, maybe on this side of the surface, I want this to be flat. So I can highlight these faces right here. And I want the flatness to end right about in this area. So let's end it here by inserting an edge loop. And then grab the faces. So I want that roundness to occur from here to here. Again, if you go to 3, it looks a little easier to wrap your head around. If I hit extrude, it'll flatten out that side because it threw an edge loop in that area. I don't like how it crawls up into it like that. That's bad edge flow. So what I want to do here is insert another edge loop here. So when I hit 3, it doesn't crawl so much into it. And if I hit insert 1 here, it makes a perfectly sharp surface. Now I would say, well, what if I took this edge and went like that with it? Okay, so now I even added more detail than my original add-on model. I added this nice little kind of finger claw thing at the back side. Another thing I want is sort of a little bit more detail in this area, and to do that, what I want to do is just extrude it. Now it might be easier to do this in 1 because that way I can really see this. It doesn't look so good smoothed out yet. So I can insert an edge loop here and here. And now I have this form change in the center. I made that form change because I can now take these faces of the form and extrude that in, creating this nice little dent. And I want that dent to be super hard, so I'll insert the edge loops to make that change here and here. I do not need one in this area, I don't think so. Yes, I do. Again, another edge loop is needed here and here so it doesn't bloom out. That looks pretty cool. I also would say that it needs to be thinner over on this side. And I think it would look better if these faces were flat also, this one and this one. So there we go. And that is topology in a nutshell, because really this is a complex form. It's a very detailed, complex form. And because of edge flow, when I take it to the next level, see, it doesn't look so good here, but when I do duplicate, I don't want to ruin the original, and I go mesh smooth, that next level will represent it. And that is a higher polygon count, but I would say that, you know, when you render something like that, after doing a normal soften edge, you're going to find that this looks a lot nicer than having some kind of really low polygon representation, especially with a robot. All right, let's go on to the next video.